Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Bird Brothers podcast. My name is Falcon, and as always, I'm joined by one of my best friends, my good friend, Condor. How are you today, Condor?
I'm your best friend?
You are one
Oh,
of my best
wow.
friends.
It's so sweet.
I
Hello,
know.
everybody. I'm your feathery friend and companion, the Midnight Condor, ready to talk about this anime called Spice and Wolf today. I
Spicy
was the one
Wolf.
who recommended it, and honestly, going into it, I was very excited. However, coming out, I was feeling a little indifferent on my opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
For
let's see.
sure.
Let's get up the synopsis of the show now. So real quick, while I'm pulling up the synopsis, Spice and Wolf was originally a light novel, which also it has a manga. It has two seasons of anime,
Mhm.
plus I think it has some OVAs too that I was looking at.
It does, and it also has a VR game as well.
It also has two DS games as well.
Mm-hmm.
That only got released into Japan. Spice and Wolf, My Year with Hollow, and Spice and Wolf, The Winds That Spans the Sea, and then the
And they're
VR
dating
game.
Sims.
They do be dating sims. They do be dating sims. I guess I could just talk about the description of the first volume as a good way to do it. Basically, we only watched season 1 of the anime, and that's the first two light novels in the series. So we have this guy named Lawrence. He meets this fox girl named Hollow in this town. And Hollow feels that the townspeople that she is currently residing in have rejected her and convinces the main character, Lawrence, to take her back to her home in the north. That's basically it. That's the show. But what that description didn't tell you is this is kind of like a colonial age, right? Right, Falcon? Colonial, you'd say.
I'd say that's a good judgment. Yeah.
It's like a colonial age, which has to do a lot of like with trading and merchants and like
Mm-hmm.
the ye old times. It's actually a pretty interesting concept. I mean, fans of Harvest Moon might really like this show, considering that you could really really make a farm here and like provide. Because I think in the first episode they show like corn and farms and stuff, and like the
Yeah,
wheat
they're in a
too.
wheat town. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
they're in
they
a
only
wheat
grow like
town.
wheat.
But I feel like the execution of the anime was pretty poor. I'm sure the light novel is better, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm just indifferent to it, but anime itself wasn't super good. It wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't horrible. It's you need to be it's like you said earlier, niche.
It's
Niche.
a very niche show.
Very niche show.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have very different opinions somewhat.
Probably.
Um, but I feel like our score at the end will probably be similar because I'm also
Probably.
looking into that as like how would everybody else view this as opposed to just me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, I
Alrighty.
guess we should talk. Do you want to do the characters first, or do you want to do some fun facts real quick? I know there's not many characters to talk about.
We
Uh,
normally do characters first, so why don't we just go on in with that, and then we'll just do fun facts afterward.
all right, all right. So as I mentioned, there's not many. There is actually quite a few characters in this show.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the problems I have with the show is the show really focuses on the two main characters, Lawrence and Hollow. They do
Mm-hmm.
have like the side characters, but they don't really like go into them as much. So that's kind of like a big problem with me. As you've probably seen from our past episodes of podcasting, we've actually talked quite a lot about the characters because there's many characters and they're all unique in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
However, in this one, there's not really that much. The characters are just kind of there than the main two. So I guess we should just start with Lawrence. Who
Yeah.
is Lawrence, Mr. Falcon?
So Lawrence is a traveling trader. So he's a merchant, I guess you could also call him. He just kind of travels from town to town, exchanging goods. Usually for other goods, we very rarely ever actually see him take money for what he has. But he's traveling around the world trying to constantly barter for better goods. So that way, when he sells them, he has enough money to open up a shop. That is his goal for the future. But he's been doing this for a while. Most every town we go to, he already has multiple connections of people in that town. Yeah, he starts off in the show. We're at this like little wheat town that the other main character, Holo, is supposed to be like the guardian deity of to make the wheat grow plentiful every year. And he otherwise, he's very smart. He can be very cunning at times. Sometimes a little too gullible. I would personally say.
If there was like a good deal in front of him, he would probably just think about. He wouldn't think about it. He'd probably just go for it.
Yeah,
Which led him to a few
good
situations that happened in the show.
Yeah.
But overall, he's just a general nice guy. Has a fair attitude. He can be calm, very judgmental about situations. He's like the realist of the show, definitely. I'd say.
Yeah, he's very much the realist. That's the better way to put it. Also, before we get too deep into it, did you watch this subbed or dubbed?
I watched the subbed.
So usual, we're on different ones there.
By the way, I just want to say, Funimation, please fix your website, because I literally had to go back to the episode selection screen to go to the next episode, and instead of just clicking the next episode button on the Funimation website. Please fix that, because that was really annoying to just constantly go back and forth.
Oh man,
Come
on, it worked fine on the app for me, but what did
you watch on like your TV?
Yeah, I watched on my TV through the Funimation app.
I watched it on my laptop. I actually did watch the first episode on my TV just to get the experience, since I got the new TV, but it was okay. Anime really has to hook you to watch on the TV. But Lawrence is a guy. He has silver hair. He's voiced by Jun Fukuyama in the Jap and Michael G. Tatum in the English. I don't know. Let's look at who else did Michael
J. Michael Tatum's been in a lot. He's Tenya from My Hero.
He is
Inaru in One Piece. Ray from Free. He's been in a lot. He's one of those people that's in a lot that you might not know. Yes, he is. He is Rentaro Okuba from Steins Gate, who's the main guy, the scientist guy. If you haven't seen that, Condor. Who else?
He's also Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan. Whoa.
And
he has a few roles, yeah.
Agnologia from Fairy Tail. I don't know who that is. I'm not a Fairy Tail person.
Oh, I know who that is. That's like the main villain.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that is who he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a great job in the dub. Like, I heard it, and at first I was like, "Isn't that J. Michael Tatum?" And then I was like, "Yeah, that's J. Michael Tatum." And then
that reminds me.
I was listening, and I was like, I liked him as Lawrence a lot. It was great.
It reminds me, I actually want to bring this up real quick. When I watched the first episode subbed, I feel like the voice acting was a little forced. I'm not sure how it was for the dubbed, but if you watch the first episode subbed, it kind of just sounds unnatural and really bad. But as the episode 2 and 3, it got better. So I don't know what happened in the first episode. Maybe I could go back and like rewatch and be like, is the voice acting still bad, or was it just my imagination? Did I just not like this anime from the beginning already?
No, I liked the dub voices. I feel like the dub voices were very good. I wouldn't say any of them were fantastic, but they were all very fitting.
Cool.
So I'll leave it at that.
Very colonial.
If you like dubs, you will like this one. You're not gonna have bloody ears or anything from bleeding out of them, but it's whatever.
My ears.
But is there anything else you want to add about Lawrence, or do we really just need to move on to the?
Let me pull up his page. He's 5'10".
Oh, he's 5'10"? He's an inch taller than me.
He is an inch taller than you.
What?
Whoa. That's crazy. Literally, his Wikipedia page is probably the longest character page on here.
Well, he is the main character.
He do be the main character. I guess there's really nothing else to mention.
Yeah.
I guess we should move on to our second character out of 2. Holo, who is probably the best character in the show because everybody likes spicy furry girl.
Everyone likes spicy wolf,
Oh, spicy wolf. Wolf and parchment. All right, who is Holo? Who's Holo Falcon? Why don't you give us a little description of Holo?
The Holo is the guardian wolf deity, or god as the locals refer to her. Essentially this town, Pasloe, which is where we start off the show. They made a deal with Holo, this wolf, who is this like giant wolf, to protect their wheat. And I forgot what the deal was. They would like give her some of the wheat, or I forget what, but essentially they revere her as like a god, and every year she'd make sure the wheat grew up well. And if the soil was getting to where the soil was getting bad, she would kind of like wreck a part of it for a bit just so the land could recover. But there's a new earl in town who doesn't want to rely on this deal with Holo, so he's brought in a bunch of improvements so they know how to take care of the wheat better themselves, and they don't need her anymore. So over the years, she's essentially kind of become a joke. She's been this like legend of like, oh, don't let Holo eat you. Oh, it's terrible, So they don't really believe in her anymore.
Yeah.
So she ends up appearing to Lawrence because he has a different kind of wheat he was bringing to trade. And since she got bound to the wheat, she can exist as long as wheat is there. So they were harvesting all the old wheat. She kind of like transferred herself to the wheat Lawrence had or whatever, and she wants to go back home to the north since they don't need her anymore.
To the north. That's
so that's
right.
kind of the basic premise of the show is
And she appears naked.
Lawrence is taking her back home to the north because she wants to go home. But otherwise, she doesn't consider herself a god. She just considers herself a wolf. But otherwise, personality,
spicy.
I think this says it the best. Her what she kind of tells Lawrence at the start. At certain times, Holo will appear in the village in the form of a pretty young woman, and she is always seen as mid-adolescent. Lovely figure. She has long flowing hair as well as wolf ears and a beautiful dark tail with a splash of white. Be like she's kind of narcissistic a little bit. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd probably say so. I mean, when you lived as long as her, she probably really loves herself, you know?
Yeah, and like she's always talking about how like beautiful she is and how she's, you know, this wise wolf, she can't be beaten. Kind of tsundere light.
But she looks like a fox falcon.
I do think she looks more like a fox, and that was throwing me off. I'm like, why did you just call it Spice and Fox and make her a fox instead?
Because Spice and Fox doesn't roll off the tongue like Spice and Wolf. Come on.
But yeah, like she knows a lot about the world, but she doesn't know like all the little intricacies. So like there's a scene where Lawrence is telling her about all the different kinds of coins, and she's surprised at how many types of coins there are. Shouldn't you just need one type of coin? And so he kind of has to explain like the ins and outs of everyday life to her, but she knows more just as a whole. She's the wise fox.
There's actually been situations in the show where Lawrence is about to make a deal and Holo comes in and enhances it, makes it better. Like there's just one where he's selling this, I think of the spices. I think it was the spices. Spice and Wolf, big funny. What for 140 of like the silver coin, but she comes in, she's like, "Hi, I'm Wise Wolf. I'm gonna say some really smart things," and then he gets 210 silver coins. So he really tripled it.
That wasn't the spice. I don't think that was the furs.
Oh, that was the first. You're right.
That was the first. She'd been eating apples, and so the guy was going to give him like 140, which is apparently still a really good deal. But she comes in and asks if he smelled them, that they have like an unusual smell, and these are really rare, and they smelled like apples.
Oh, that's right. He checked the spices for the armor.
Yeah, okay. And so she kind of lied to say that like, oh, they're going to smell like this forever, when really it goes away really quickly, and she just kind of got one over on them. But she can also she can tell when people are lying. Like that's just like one of her senses she has as a wolf or whatever. So she can benefit Lawrence in that way. Oh, do you think he was lying? Probably, you know, but it's they have kind of an interesting symbiotic kind of relationship that's really nice that I enjoyed.
The anime is totally not shipping them. No way.
Oh no, not at all.
Not at all.
No ship anime.
It's not like they have a daughter in another series or anything. Nope. No.
What? Spoilers.
Whoa! Oh no!
Whoa!
Oh no! I just ruined it.
For real though, if anyone was upset about that, we apologize. We should have waited till the end, but it's whatever. Can't take it back now. But yeah, otherwise she's she also likes drinking a lot. She likes to down some beer or wine, I guess. I guess she drinks more wine than beer.
She really likes food a lot.
And she likes fancy clothes. She will constantly take the fanciest clothes Lawrence has to sell and wear those.
That's right, because when she transforms into her wolf form, her clothes go rip, and that's not good. That ruins, because she ripped Lawrence's best clothes in like the 6th episode.
Yeah, that he was wanting to sell for like a profit. She's like, but I like these the best, so I'm going to wear them. It's like,
good
okay.
Old Holo.
Good old Holo.
Did you know her voice actor was Brina Palencia, who also voices Juvia from Fairy Tail and Chopper from One Piece?
And CL Phantom High from Black Butler for all you Black Butler fans.
Yeah.
She also voices Mineta from My Hero Academia.
That's right, Mineta too.
Wow, that's so weird to think Holo is the same voice as Mineta. Oh man. I can't get that in out of my head now. I can't unsee it. She also does Chaozu in a lot of the newer Dragon Ball stuff, aka best Dragon Ball character who just gets wrecked all the time, but it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we have to throw this one in for my boy Kaizen. She is also the voice of Yuno from Mirai Nikki, aka the Future Diary.
Really now?
Yeah, pink-haired yandere girl. Yeah.
I trust me, I know who Yuno is. She is literally the original yandere. So
the original yandere for sure.
The actual original yandere. But I was just looking at her other page. Let's see this. Yeah, she did voice Mineta. That is super crazy. She has some voices in Code Vein.
Okay.
Oh, she's in Black Clover as a character that I remember. Not an
Ooh.
important character, but a character nonetheless. She looks like she is also a pretty popular voice actress. Good on her for her role in this. Oh, she's in Danganronpa, the anime. Oh no, she's Ibuki from Danganronpa 2.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Ibuki was good.
Oh yeah. That's a good series.
So those are the two main characters.
We
Who
can
else do
talk
we
about the side characters, but there's really not much to say about them.
do? We
I
want to
even think
talk
we can
about
talk about
Chloe at all, or
let's talk about. We should mention Nora because Nora had a
Nora?
slighter
Okay.
significance than most side characters in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So Nora is a blonde-haired young girl who Lawrence has a crush on, most likely, and she is a shepherd who herds sheep, and she has a trusty dog companion who is super cute because dogs are amazing. And but apparently the churches all think she is like really evil, that she worked for like the devil or something, or like a pagan, right? They call her a pagan, right?
Yeah.
And she basically uses like witchcraft to like keep the sheep alive, and that's why they like send her on paths to try to do bad things to her so she can fail and they can like prove it, which is really horrible. But she's a really general nice character, very sweet, very wholesome, just really wants the best for people.
Yeah, and she gets ostracized simply because she's a good shepherd. Like they sent her on one of the dangerous ones to where whenever shepherds went there, the sheep always got killed just because of how many wolves and stuff were there. But because she had her dog with her and like a bell, she was able to kind of scare them away. So clearly, witchcraft was the reason, and now everyone like kind of shuns her. Like even when they get to that town, Lawrence talks to a merchant about, oh, they were talking about the needing like safe passage somewhere. He's like, oh, I might know someone. Like, oh, don't even get bothered with the like involved with the shepherd girl. Like, she's bad news, you know. So like, it's like, oh, she's not. But that's just what the church has told everybody to think of her.
That's right,
Sadly,
because you could always listen to the church.
Oh, you know it, especially in anime. The church is like always bad in anime.
It's so true. I don't think I've ever heard of like a good church in like any anime.
Maybe in like Chrono Crusade, but I've not seen Chrono Crusade, so I wouldn't know. But I know like the main character is a nun, so
I mean, I like Nora for what she was worth. You know,
I liked Nora a lot.
She was more interesting than the other side characters.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only other side character that was of note was really Chloe. But yeah, but Nora is voiced by
Leah Clark.
Who is Himiko Toga from My Hero.
A lot of people from this anime were in My Hero.
Yeah, she's also Mio from Nichijou, which was the blue-haired girl. Hanajima from Fruits Basket.
She's Kobe, young Kobe from One Piece.
She is young Kobe. She's also Murmur from Mirai Nikki as well.
She's also Ruby Tojo from Rosario Vampire.
Okay. I haven't watched Rosario Vampire. Crazy. I've heard it's good though.
You shouldn't read the manga. It's better.
Read the manga. Okay.
They sexualize the anime a lot, especially season 2, which is all non-canon. The manga is just so much better.
I hear you.
Yeah. What else? She's in Fairy Tail as Mavis, the original first headmaster of Fairy Tail.
Oh, she's also in Assassination Classroom as Yukiko Kanzaki.
Lots of good roles this person did. You know, lots of good roles.
Guess what her Attack on Titan role was?
Is it the potato girl?
No, her role is female supply soldier.
Oh, how could I not know that?
How could you not have known that?
Would you like to know a fun trivia fact about Nora, everybody?
Yeah.
In the manga, Nora goes barefoot outside of town to avoid wearing out her shoes. This ends when Lawrence sells her some good sandals. Now, isn't that just wholesome?
It is.
Oh boy.
Nora.
I wonder how long the manga is. That's a good question.
I think the light novel had 17 volumes.
Nope, that is incorrect. The light novel has 21 volumes.
Okay.
And then there's the sequel series, which I mentioned before, which has 4 volumes. And it looks like right now the author writes a volume a year, which is weird. But I mean, hey, more power to him if that's how he does it. Let me look up the manga. I got it right here. The good old manga. It looks like there's 16 volumes of the manga. Ooh.
Nice.
Oh wow, that is crazy. Oh, the last image is so wholesome. I'm spoiling myself. Oh, there's 100 chapters in total though. That's cool.
Okay.
And I always like it when things end on 100. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what other side characters should we talk about, Mr. Falcon?
That's a hard one.
I mean, you said Chloe, right? That red hair.
Yeah,
girl,
I mean,
assume?
Chloe's probably the only other one that really had enough importance to talk about. So Chloe is a fellow merchant who is friends with Lawrence. We meet her at the town there in the very beginning, whose name I've already forgotten again, like Pasloe, I believe. Pasio, yeah.
Paslov.
Pasloff, that's right. But yeah, she's kind of crushing on Lawrence. You kind of find out Lawrence may be crushing on her somewhat, at the start at least. But she's kind of like one. She's always looking up for a good deal, and she tries to tell Lawrence about a deal after he's already met Holo and agreed to take her up north, which he turns down simply due to the fact that
Plot.
he's already made this promise to take her up north. Yeah, we find out what that deal is later in the plot, which I won't talk about in case you do want to watch the show. We don't want to spoil that for you. But she's very liked by most everybody who meets her. You find out in Pasloe that the town just loves her to death. They think she's great.
At first, I thought she lived there, but I guess she's just loved that much. It looks like she's just a part of the town, so it must be a really friendly town.
So I think she moved there, maybe, because it said thanks for introducing her to us. She's become a staple around the town. So I feel like maybe she went there and made a deal, so she stayed in the town for a bit.
That is a possibility, but you can't never be sure with merchants.
Yeah, you never know. But then, we see her later on a few towns over, due to story reasons. But was that like she temporarily left the town, or is that just she was leaving the town for a bit?
No idea. I guess it's up to interpretation.
Yeah,
unless
she's
the light novels go into more detail about it, which I'm not sure about.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise she kind of seems like she's like Lawrence, just slightly different personality, but not too much different personality. She doesn't seem to have maybe as high of a moral compass as Lawrence would have, I guess.
No, she's too into it with the church, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, the church is righteous. I must believe in the church because they will lead me to the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And, like most characters in that type of colonial era.
Right.
Gotta believe in something.
That's really all we can...
crops are nice and good.
All we can really talk about her otherwise. Let's see. She was voiced in the dub by Jamie Marchi.
Oh boy, what did she play? What did this Jamie Marchi play in My Hero?
Let's see. I've not seen a My Hero one yet. A lot for Borderlands 3, actually. She was Go in Free, the swimming series.
Oh, she was in One Piece. Wow, it looks like this character was not. Wait, hold on.
She's got a lot of roles, but a lot of them I've not heard of. She was Hitomi in Pop Team Epic.
She is Junko Enoshima from Danganronpa.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's see who else. Note.
The best girl.
I'm seeing a lot of shows, but I've not heard of a lot of these shows.
Oh, she's in A Sister's All You Need. Oh, it's a good one.
She's Quetzalcoatl in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Ooh, I don't remember.
I know that one's somewhat popular.
That's the girl with the big boobs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I found her in My Hero. She's Mount Lady.
Nice. Oh, all right.
All these actors in My Hero, I don't understand.
I mean, to be fair, My Hero has a huge cast. I feel like most actors and actresses will be in there at some point.
That is true. It's still funny. This is like 4 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Let's see if we can find one more here.
Oh, she's the teacher in Rosario Vampire. That's cool. Oh, she's also Kana Alberona from Fairy Tail.
She is also Liz in Soul Eater Not.
Oh, I've never watched Soul Eater Not.
I think Liz was one of Death the Kid's weapons.
That's okay. I read enough fanfiction as it is.
But I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched Soul Eater. I should rewatch that as a point.
I guess we're rewatching that for the podcast next. Spoiled. But yeah, it looks like this person also has a lot of roles as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very good. Lots of popular stuff. You probably know her by now if you are an avid anime watcher like the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I really guess there's really no one else to talk about for
No.
characters unless you can think of anybody.
No, because even like the ones that were in there for a while, like Liebert, really didn't do anything but be there because had to be there for story reason.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the characters other than the ones we mentioned don't really stand out that much. They're just kind of there for plot sakes and just to fill in a spot or a role, you know. It's like if you're reading a fanfic and someone makes an OC just so they could be there for like the shopkeep and to create like tension and stuff. That's literally what that feels like in the show.
Yeah, because when you had like Jaren who's just there to like set them up on like a bad deal. We had Marlhite, who's just supposed to help them get away from something that happens during the plot and otherwise is not important. Like it's something that like there's not really even really enough to talk about them a lot about. So just I don't see the point.
And I'm bashing the anime for how bad they did the characters. I'm sure the light novel did a lot better because usually books most of the time are the better source material, but I feel like the anime, well, excuse me, did it really poorly. Other than with Holo and I forgot Lawrence. How did I forget that?
Yeah, and I'm not really bashing it. It's just there's those characters that are important, but there's not much to them, so it makes them hard to talk about it. I actually really liked the show. There's just not a ton we can like elaborate on really.
Again, I liked the show too, but I like the concept of the show, but I feel like they executed it poorly. And again, I'm blaming that on the anime. I feel like the light novel probably does a better job.
I'm really curious. I want to start reading the light novel actually.
I do too. I guess
let's see.
We can move on to the
fun facts.
All right. I have a really cool fun fact that you would really love because I know you like this other anime series.
Okay.
So this is based off of the Japanese voice actors. Where is it? It's right here. Holo's voice actress Amy Koshimizu also voiced Kallen Kozuki, one of the main heroines from Code Geass. The main lead of this anime, Lelouch, was also voiced by Jun Fukuyama, who also voiced Kraft. So basically, the main characters of Code Geass are like the main characters who voiced the sub in Spice and Wolf. Also, it is also notable that the anime was created after both actors, Jun and Amy, won the first Seiyu awards for their respective roles in Code Geass.
All right.
So that's actually cool. That's actually really cool because I guess I don't know if that's it's saying the page is saying that's the reason how the anime was created, but I don't know if that's like actually true or not. But if it is,
I don't feel like that's why the anime would have been created. I feel like they just got them as the role. It's like, oh, they won roles for their performance on these show. Let's just put them as the main characters here as well.
But did you know that Holo snores in her sleep? However, she denies it every time it is brought up.
Yeah, because I think Lawrence mentions in one of the episodes that she was snoring and she got really upset. I do not snore. Yeah, you do. I do not. I am the wise wolf. Okay.
Wise wolf. Holo is also agnostic, which means she doesn't believe in religion.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Lawrence kind of seems that way somewhat too. He's kind of like, he's not really like, doesn't really believe in the church that much.
I felt like at the beginning he did, but like as he met Holo and talked with her more, his opinion sort of changed on that. I mean, literally, the anime is just them bantering the whole time. So, do you got any good fun facts about Spice and Wolf? Any spicy facts, Falcon?
So fun fact: the show keeps showing in the like opening and ending that there is a website for the project, spicy-wolf.com, and that website is still up to this day. I checked out of curiosity. It is very ancient. You have to enable Adobe Flash Player. So come the end of the month, you cannot view this website anymore.
Wait, what's the link? I want to see this website right now.
Spicy-wolf.com.
Spicy-wolf.com. You heard that, folks. Y'all better go check this website out right now.
Check it out before it's gone for good.
That's right. Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's all in Japanese, but like it's the last news update was advertising the DVD box set. So I can tell you how long it's been since it's been updated. But yeah, I just got curious. I was like, I'm gonna see if it's there. It is.
That is actually really cool. And if you know Japanese, you can like read the website.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh boy.
I know what you're saying. Any more fun facts you got?
Apparently the Stop and Shop has soup. Sorry, there was an ad that appeared on my screen.
I was like, what?
There was actually a lot of confusion apparently in the beginning for the translations, whether if Holo's name was Horo or Holo.
Oh, okay.
Yen Press has said that they were instructed by the Japanese licensor that her name was indeed Holo, and Funimation has also used Holo in the English dub. Also, and we haven't seen this yet, I don't think it's a spoiler. In episode 4 of season 2, Holo is shown writing her name as Holo.
Okay.
As well, so I guess there was confusion on whether it was Holo or Horo. I guess because the L and R's are kind of similar in Japanese media, so because of that, that was a bit confusion, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's pretty cool for trivia, you know. Any other cool, fun trivia facts you'd like to mention to the kind audience, Mr. Falcon?
Not that I have. No, that was really the only one I had. I just thought that was interesting.
All right. Well, there's some
right.
fun facts. Some pretty. So there's been a lot of work into the show, into the series in general, I should say. There's a lot of light novels. There's a lot of manga. There's the anime. There's some games, and there's a VR game, which is crazy. And I think I heard a rumor they might be making a second VR game. I heard a rumor.
Maybe.
Somewhere.
I mean, yeah. The show is super popular. It has a huge fan base.
It does have a huge fan base.
Um,
It's a really good show. It's a really good series, I bet. I like the premise, you know. The premise was nice. But the opening and the ending theme, Falcon. What did you think of the first opening and the first ending theme? Let's talk about the opening first. Opening theme. What is the opening theme called?
I don't even remember what it's called.
Me either.
Does it say on the Wikipedia page? No. Okay, let's go to YouTube then. 'Cause I don't remember. I was not a fan of it. I did not enjoy it. Spice and Wolf opening.
But why did you not enjoy it?
I mean, like, it fit the show. I guess it's just really not like my style of music or song. The song is called Tabi no Tochu by Natsumi Kiora. Not Kiora, yeah, Kiora. I don't know, like, I just felt it was kind of boring.
Oof.
So, yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know, did you enjoy the first opening at all?
My opinion is kind of very similar to yours. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It definitely fit the theme of the show, but I'm definitely not going to be jammed into it like on a Friday night or anything when I'm like all by myself. It wouldn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, no.
I'll probably forget about it in like a month or two. But like, what is that song from again?
Yeah, I'd probably play it and be like, Then I'd see like the wheat and be like, maybe Spice and Wolf.
0 out of 10, not spicy enough.
Not spicy enough.
No spice. What about the ending theme, Falcon?
The ending theme grew on me. The first time I heard it, I did not like it at all. I was like, what did they do with the ending theme? But I don't remember what it's called either. Let me look up that.
But it's called 7 Apples on the Witch's Tree. Come on.
I thought it was just called like 7 Witches, maybe.
Come on, you should know this.
I know I should know this, but I don't. Well, I was like, perfect world, but that's season 2 ending. So that's not Ringo Biori by Rocky Chak. Okay. Ringo Biori.
The wolf whistling song. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost kind of has kind of like, I almost want to say nursery rhyme kind of vibe to it.
The storybook like visuals for it are pretty cool.
Yeah, the storybook's probably better. But yeah, it doesn't really make sense if you like listen to the lyrics all the way. But I enjoyed it. It kind of has this kind of weird quirkiness to it that
but if you secretly listen to the lyrics, you learn there's an underground really bad movement in the anime that makes the anime a lot darker. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Don't be talking about bug snacks.
It's a little it's just a nice little theme. It's in English, so it's like the person who sings it's in English. It's really cute.
Very English at times.
It's big English, you know.
Like the first time I heard the line where she says, "I'm just a little wolf inside a girl," I died laughing just how she said it. I was like, that's so dumb.
It's probably like the most like,
every time it comes, I just smile and I'll like mouth along to it because I think it's stupid. But I enjoyed the ending a lot. Like I could see me listening to the ending every once in a while, but not very often.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Also, another thing I forgot to mention in fun facts. It's not really like super fun.
Then why are you mentioning in fun facts?
I forgot. I'm just gonna mention it. Yeah. So when they started, I'd forgotten this until I started looking up like promo material for the show. When this first came out in English, I guess they realized that it would be a hard sell about just the show being a merchant, explaining how a merchant works.
Oh my God.
Having wolf deity, like guiding a wolf deity to the north. So they literally advertised the show with like pretty much nothing but the like naked pictures of Holo. So like,
yeah,
I remember, and then I was like, I remember why I never watched this in high school when it came out was because I was convinced it was just either like a hentai or just like total eroge, because like you would just see it, like they would show like a picture or two of like her and Lawrence together, but then it'd just be like her laying in a field or her like doing like taking a bath, and it was just like, okay, they like advertised it to be like super pervy. So like High School Musical was like,
Good old industry sexualizing the females to
yeah,
get the attention.
yeah. I mean, like when you first meet her, she isn't wearing any clothes because like she just wasn't. But otherwise, she wears
steals
clothes.
Lawrence's clothes.
She steals Lawrence's clothes because she's
How
cold,
dare
you know?
she?
But yeah, like they were very much advertising it as like an eroge, and it's not. Which I feel like kind of probably hurt it a little bit over here. I mean, like there's still a bunch of people over here who love the show. But I mean, like, I feel like people who got into it being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to look at this sexy wolf girl would be very, very disappointed.
I never really thought of it that way, personally. I mean, I figured that she was just naked because she transformed into her human form. I never.
No,
really
that's why I got it. But yeah, like, I just found it weird that, like, she's not naked very often in the show at all.
But I can see
that's
why
like
people.
The only way they advertised it.
I can understand why people would be impacted by that. You horny individuals, you.
Horny individuals.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty fun fact. I remember you. That's a good mention. Thanks for bringing that up, Falcon.
No problem. Otherwise, do you really have anything to say about like the background music in the show?
The background music definitely fit the theme. I think there was a lot of piano verses that I can't like think of off the top of my head right now because it was that like out there. Honestly, when I'm thinking music, I'm still thinking of the battle music from the Gundam Iron Orphans from last week. That music was really good. Yeah. But other than that, the music definitely fit the anime well, as it usually does.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely fit. I'm trying to think of what the right word I want to say is.
Simplistic.
Yeah, I guess simplistic would be most simplistic, kind of realistic. It's nothing too crazy, too memorable. Like I could hear something like it just like walking in the street somewhere at some point. But I enjoyed it. It was fine. It did what it needed to do.
It did, definitely.
I do think I probably prefer the background music to the opening theme. Just personally.
Yeah, there's nothing super the whole time.
Yeah.
That way you'll love it more.
Maybe. Yeah. Otherwise, anything else you want to talk about? The opening, endings, or music?
Not really. The music was just there. It was the ending theme's probably the best in my opinion, just for the English itself.
English itself. All right. So that brings us to our weeb moment, which I believe we discussed earlier would be: would you be a merchant in this world?
I'm glad you didn't say the other one.
What, you don't want to know if you would take the deal of the Trini silver coins or whatever?
Oh boy. So real quick,
man.
We mentioned this earlier, but apparently there's like all these different types of currency, like different bronze coins, different silver coins, different gold coins. And apparently I don't remember because they only explained this once, but apparently they have different value because of the weight of the coin. So they could like melt certain coins into other ones and it'll be like, oh, this one's technically worth 10 of this one because of the weight. And it's just like, oh, that's kind of confusing. It's kind of weird. It's cool. The system itself is kind of cool, but I feel like they executed it very well, but it's still kind of confusing.
So, I mean, it's realistic because that is in the olden times how coins value was how much of it was the actual silver or gold it was.
I didn't know that, so that's cool.
Yeah, unless I'm just like misremembering my history from back in the day. That's how things had value. But the more of them you had, the less they became less value they had because clearly that metal was more plentiful, which drove its value down because it wasn't as rare.
If history had a lot more Fox girls, I probably would have paid attention more in class.
Yeah, that's something I really liked. But yeah, they talk about there's like 50 or 60 different kinds of coins, but we only hear them talk about Trini silver coins and some kind of gold coin that I honestly don't even remember what it was called.
No, I feel like there was that one episode where Lawrence was explaining to Holo all the different silver coins, and he mentioned a lot of different ones, but I don't remember them off the top.
Yeah, but whenever he's making deals, it's always in Trini silver coins.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird to do like different ones and to have like one currency, especially since he's trying to make a living, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But would I be a merchant? Is that the question?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know if
I probably wouldn't either.
I'd probably just be a farmer, honestly. I'd probably just like choose a town, maybe the first town, and just become a farmer.
Farm wheat
there.
in Pasloe?
That's right. I'm gonna farm wheat. Maybe then I could find my own wolf girl.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'd be a merchant. Like, it would be fun because I like traveling around. So the fact you'd have to travel and go to all the different towns to get things would be really cool. But as they very much show here, like the world they've set up isn't very forgiving. So like Lawrence makes one bad deal towards the end and essentially is like gonna be broke. And like nobody wants to help him out because he made a bad deal and they just don't want to have a debt to him because they're convinced that he's done anyway. He's not going to be able to get the money no matter what. But yeah, I wouldn't either. I would probably just try to do something else, like maybe have like a cafe.
Oh, or maybe a bathhouse.
Yeah, I could run a bathhouse, just like girls over there, guys over there. Let's go.
Let's go.
Right.
No mixed baths in here.
No mixed baths in here. We're not about that.
We ain't creating another harem anime in this bathhouse. No.
No harem anime for Spice and Wolf, okay?
No.
Not
yet.
No. not yet.
I don't know. It looks like it was gearing it up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
What, you mean he's gonna have to choose between Holo, Chloe, and Nora? Oh my gosh! I wonder who's gonna win.
The horse.
The horse. He loves that horse, man.
His horse. There episodes like I gotta get my horse back. Oh no.
He will meet up with us. It's just like what?
Big sad. I always remember that last episode where the guy took the horse away. I'm just like, no, not the horse.
That poor horse.
Not the
horse. He didn't deserve any of that.
I know. I was big sad.
But
yeah, going back once again, I'd probably choose the farming instead of being a merchant because I feel like I'm not really good at bargains. I'm more like the honest guy, like, hey, this is this much, pay for it. I'm not bargaining. And then people are like, but I want it for this much. I'll be like, haha, no. And I probably would be a good merchant.
I think if I were a merchant back in that time, I could make it work. I can wheel and deal somewhat successfully, but it's always more at like retail stores and us actually like haggling. So it'd have to depend on how I could actually haggle things down.
Could you now?
I've had people try to haggle with me in retail stores and I'm like, I literally cannot edit the price. It's like, well, if you're not going to make a deal with me, I'll leave. It's like, okay, I'm not like the flea market or something. I can't haggle. Like, it's this price person. I cannot change it. My manager cannot change it. It's MS freaking DOS on this computer. Like,
actual DOS.
That's the price it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else we need to mention before we talk about, I guess, spoilers?
Favorite moments would be next, but I feel like they're kind of.
I like the part where Lawrence and Holo talk.
Yes, I like that part as well.
I like that part.
I like when they talk a lot. It's
because that's like the whole anime. That's literally.
I like when she buys 80 apples and then eats them all before the end of the day.
What was that food that she wanted at the end that she never got?
What was it was the honey pickled peaches.
I hope season 2 starts out with her eating a honey pickled peach. If it doesn't, I'm rioting. I swear I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna write an angry letter to the author and be like, how dare you do this to the guy?
You didn't let her eat honey pickled peaches.
I'm gonna in his ear. I'm gonna go
You would ring in his or her ear. I don't know if
give Holo her peaches right now.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of moments I liked in the show. I do like when she just like overbuys the apples because you find out she loves apples, and then she's like instantly tired of apples, and he's like, "I told you not to buy so many," and she's like, "Shut up! I knew I could eat all of these apples, and I will."
I really can't think of a favorite moment other than like all the spoiler moments because literally, the anime kind of blends together, which is another problem with it because as I mentioned, and I was joking, but I'm really dead serious. Literally, the whole anime is just mostly 90% Holo and Lawrence just like bantering together, like talking about trading, talking about the world, which is probably a good way to get the watcher into the world to like understand it. But like I feel like they could have executed it a lot better, or just by doing like one lines and just like leaving it to the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much a hack sign kind of deal where 90% of the show is just them talking about things, which is something I personally really enjoy. I love hack sign, even though it is super dang slow, and I am aware most people would hate it. But I like that a lot about it. But then when there's other stuff, they don't fully explain it. Like there's one part where Lawrence is trying to ask people for money, and he and Holo are going around. And nobody's giving him money. And then finally one guy is like, I'd love to give you money, but you're with a woman. So
that part doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I was like, is it because they think he's just spending what little money it's like, are they saying he's spending what little money he has on a woman, therefore he can't be that hurt? He just needs to drop the woman to say they didn't explain anything about it. And it's like,
That
so
would make the
why
most sense, probably.
that's what I was assuming, but I'm also like, or is there some other reason like you're with a woman? Go away. We
I'm
don't like
jealous of
women.
you. How dare
Yeah,
you?
like we
How dare you get a woman and I can't? Herb derp.
yeah, and then even after she like stays in the inn, so he has a better shot at getting money, like he still doesn't get any money from people. So it's like, okay, at that point had word gone around like, oh, he has a girl, don't give him money. Like what? Okay, but it's whatever. But yeah.
My favorite moment was the credits. Ha ha ha. I
Ha
can't
ha
think of a
ha,
favorite
big
moment.
funny.
I really can't. I'm sorry. And it's kind of sad to say that. I've literally watched like probably an episode like every week.
Mhm.
I think the most I watched was on Wednesday when I watched 4 episodes, but usually I watch like 1 or 2 episodes each day to felt like 13 episodes because this anime was not just very interesting. And well, it was interesting, but it wasn't very engaging, I should say, you know. I feel like it could have been more
Yeah,
engaging.
I'd say that's a better way. It's very chill. It's fairly slow pace. I mean, the slow pace as you can get for like a 13 episode anime. Uh, yeah, I'd say it's not super engaging would be the best way to phrase that. But
Nice.
yeah, so do we want to rate first and then talk about the rest of it in the spoiler section?
Let's rate. Let's do a rating. Let's do a rating right now. You go first. Right now. Go first.
So
Falcons first.
I genuinely really did enjoy the show. We've been fairly negative on it, but I feel like it's the way the show is made. It's easier to point out the flaws in it than it really is to highlight what it does well. Like the main two characters are done very well, but because of that, the side characters kind of get not really shafted, but they don't get a whole
Pushback.
lot of attention. But it's made very clear the show is about Holo and Lawrence. So the others are just kind of there to be there to help facilitate story beats so it can keep moving. Um, so I liked it. I would definitely watch it again, but it's hard to recommend if you're someone like me who doesn't mind more slower paced things. That's just mainly dialogue. If you're another fan of like Dot Hack Sign, if you're a huge Harvest Moon fan, and just kind of like slow, simple, easygoing, relaxing kind of deals, you'll love Spice and Wolf like me. Totally watch it. If you're mainly like a shonen watcher or even more like comedy slice of life stuff, probably not going to be a super fan of it. Check it out if it sounds interesting to you. Otherwise, just kind of skip it. I'm going to rate it a 7. Personally, like I really enjoyed it. I would probably rate it a little bit higher just for like my own personal enjoyment. But as far as everything else, I feel like it's fairly well done. I just feel like the kind of show it is,
It's
there's
not for
not
everybody.
really a way to make it better to interest everybody else. The music was okay, but not outstanding. The main characters I feel like are really great. Some of my favorite characters I've seen recently in a show, but the rest are just there. So I feel like a 7's really as high as I could give it without just being completely 100% biased on a rating, which isn't that big of a deal because ratings essentially are biased. But as far as everybody as a whole, I feel like 7 would be the best I could really do.
All right. Well, that was a very nice opinion of the show. I'm going to say my opinion is basically I feel like the anime I haven't read the light novel, so I really can't give any credit, but I feel like the anime was probably done pretty poorly, at least from what I know from watching a lot of anime. The main characters, as you mentioned, Lawrence and Hollow, are probably the best part about the show because you learn the most about them. You see the world through their eyes, through their movements and stuff, and their bantering is actually really nice and well done, and I really like it a lot. But I'm the type of person who really likes to know about like more characters, more things, see character development and stuff. And I feel like there wasn't that much character development in the show. The anime is not for everybody. I'd say if you like Harvest Moon, like Falcon said, or you just like if you like animes where people talk things out a lot, like there's a lot of talking, this is the show for you. But I would not recommend it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it for a first time watcher of anime.
No, I probably wouldn't either. No.
Because I feel like you would probably think as all anime like this is boring. So I wouldn't think like that. I'm gonna rate it a 6 out of 10 because I still did enjoy it. but I'm probably not gonna rewatch it. If we have to watch season 2 for the podcast, I'll be like, okay, we can do that.
Mhm.
It's only 13 episodes, so if you're
Yeah.
trying to get into this series, I recommend watching the first 2 episodes because
We almost did both seasons for this one.
We almost
but then
did,
we ran
time.
out of time to finish it, so we're like, all right, let's do season 1.
Yeah, we really took our time with this anime, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of shows a lot. But the series is very popular and stuff, and I'm not hating on it. I just don't like the anime personally. So 6 out of 10 for me.
Yep.
Holo best girl.
And so now we're going to get into the more spoilery part of things. So if you're going to pop out here, you can always check for updates on the podcast on Twitter at BirdBroPod. You can check me out on Twitch on Twitch TV/Final Falconberry. Condor is there when he is not working, so you can always chat with us. We have a Discord as well that you can hop into. I do have the link on the Podbean page. So BirdBroPod. Is it BirdBro? I think it's BirdBroPod at Podbean.
How could you not remember?
I am still waking up for the day.
Well, you had your coffee.
Yeah. I've had my coffee, now I'm on water, but it hasn't hit yet. Yeah, BirdBroPod, I was right. .podbean.com. I have the invite link there. You can just copy paste that into your browser and get that invite. We have an anime section where you can chat about whatever anime you want, and we would love to join in. Also, for those of you hopping out now, our topic for next week is going to be episodes 1 through 24 of the new reboot of Digimon Adventure. So tune in then. It's still ongoing, and it's gonna be like 60 something episodes. So I'm a big Digimon fan, so we're gonna.
I know
like
nothing about Digimon, so this is gonna be great. Let's go.
This is why I kind of want Asa on here. I feel like me and Asa just like but who knows? We'll see. Wow. Maybe a guest next week, maybe not. Who knows?
Hey, it sounds like Asa has a biased opinion. He's not allowed.
Biased opinion, not allowed.
Biased opinion, not allowed.
No, I don't care. We can have biased opinions unless you're like gonna like. We can talk about that later. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. And now we're going to talk about what kind of spoilery parts there are, I guess. So what do you want to talk about first in the spoilery section?
I like the part where Holo turns into a wolf and kills people. That was great.
Yeah, that was.
I like death. Death is nice.
I also really liked. That was interesting.
That was interesting, yeah.
I love too when she just grabs Nora, and they're all like, oh, "She's eating Nora," and it's like, no, she just like put her in her mouth and like set her to the side so she would be protected or whatever. But I love that she's constantly talking about Lawrence when they're trying to run away from stuff like, "Oh, if need be, I'll just put you in my mouth and run away," and he's like, "No, I would never let you do that." And she's like, "Regardless, I will do it if I have to." And then like you just see her like grab Nora when Nora's standing in her way of, I think it was Liebert. And he's like, "She ate Nora." And it's like, no, she just put her in the mouth to keep her safe.
I thought that too. I looked like it was, but I got really confused in that part. I'm like, wait, what?
I was like, she's not eating Nora. I was like, she's keeping her safe while she like attacks Liebert.
But
and then you just see Lawrence like, "Oh no!" And then it's like, boop, she's fine.
It looked like Holo hurt her dog companion though. It looked like it, right?
She hurt the dog, but she didn't kill the dog.
Okay. All right, I wasn't sure. It looked like.
Speaking of the dog, I liked when Holo lied and said that the dog knew that Holo was also a shepherd or whatever, and that's why he was in love with her or whatever. And then it's like, oh no, he just knew I was a wolf, so he was just watching me all the time to make sure I didn't do anything.
That's right.
I was like, oh, that was great.
Again, there's not really much spoilery stuff to talk about because there's literally just what we just talked about, and there's a scene in the middle where I guess Holo gets like kidnapped because get her. And Lawrence,
the Martine trading company like kidnaps her.
Confusing because there's like these two companies with like Maloney and something else.
Maloney like Martin or something, Martine or something.
And
one of them like was kidnapping Holo, and essentially that whole thing was there was a deal where a king or a lord or someone was going to take the Trini silver coins, melt them down, and put less silver in them to make them less valuable. But a guy named Zareth or whatever tells Lawrence about this deal where they're actually going to go up in value. So he needs to buy all of these coins. So when they go up, he can sell them for more or trade them for more or whatever.
And then he got like betrayed or something. See, I was really confused.
Yeah.
What's happening. Cause like you have like all this like really slow stuff, but then when something happens, it happens like really fast. And I was just like confused. I'm just like, wait, what? But
so what happened with there was he was trying to tell Lawrence that these coins were going up in value so to get as many as he could, when he was working for the trading company that had the deal where they were actually going to be worth less in value. So
Oh yeah, how silly of me.
it was a little confusing. It's like he was trying to get Lawrence into making a bad deal, and then they end up getting betrayed because they find out about that deal, and then not only that, but I think they realized they found out that was a lie. So when they go to tell the other trading company guy who he's made deals with to let them in on it, they find out, I guess, either through a spy or like a mole or something. Then they also find out that Holo is actually Holo, and so they kidnap her and are gonna give her to the church because being like a demon. And then you find out Chloe, that was the deal she made that she was trying to get Lawrence on at the very beginning that he turned down, and that was the whole deal. But I liked that part. I feel like I liked it a little bit better than the one at the end, personally.
By the way, here's a fun fact that I can't mention because it would be spoilery, but apparently Chloe never appears again after that in the series.
That seems really weird. It seemed like they were kind of building her up to kind of be like a recurring
exactly.
person.
So she was gonna like come back, but she doesn't. It says on our Wikipedia page too. It's just like it's just her last. Because if you look at Nora's Wikipedia page, her last appearance is like the last volume, which is 17. Well, not the last one, but like the last one for like the story, and then there's like the epilogues. But but for Chloe, it just says say like a last appearance. Let me pull up her character sheet real quick. Last appearance, Wolf and the New Journey, whichever that is. I think that's like the last episode. Yeah, the final episode. She has like that appearance in like the last episode, like that one little shot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like, oh, here's what this character's up to now.
Yeah. Well, the anime says the appearance of her says she has a voluptuous figure. I'm like, no, she doesn't.
No, she really doesn't. Sometimes things be crazy.
Oh boy, things do be crazy. What can I say? I like the part in the first episode where she goes, "How?"
Oh, where she just howls. Yeah,
it's howling. It's like, "Oh!" Like, wow, how dare you make fun of Holo, you ignorant person, you.
People. I also like too that she kept flirting with the friend who was on the bridge that was like a notorious womanizer. She was flirting with him just because she enjoyed flirting with him. It's and she kept wanting him to like meet them at like the restaurants and stuff to eat dinner, and he'd be like, "You need to be careful around him." And it's like, "Oh, what's the harm in having a little fun, like just like flirting with?" But that was interesting.
She just wants free food. She's hungry.
I like how she's constantly asking him to get her a brush so she can brush her tail or whatever too.
I hope in season 2 she gets a brush. If she's not, I'm sending another letter to the author.
Yeah.
It's
like, can you buy me a brush and some clothes? It's like all right.
I think like after the whole debacle with the Milone Trading Company, the next episode was literally her just them picking out her clothes, and that was like the whole episode. I'm just like, wow, that's great.
I mean, you got like world building in there, but yeah, it was mainly them going around just trying to buy her clothes. But then it was working out like how he was buying these really lame clothes, and then he got them for cheaper. So then he also got this really nice set of clothes, and he's going to sell these really lame clothes at a higher price because she's wearing these really nice clothes. So clearly, these are like royalty clothes. Like it was cool how he was explaining how he would do things and how he would do it. But yeah, it was more just like, here's how merchants behaved back in the more colonial times.
Lawrence do be big brain. What can I say? He knows how to. He is a good trader.
Yeah. Which is set up even when he makes that bad deal at the end. He's found a way to actually turn it around to where he ended up making a profit and still being able to do his thing. But yeah.
I really don't think there's really much else to talk about.
There really isn't. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks you guys for staying around. That's Spice and Wolf
season 1. Thank you so much for listening to everything. Thank you very much for everything. Oh my god, this anime was so boring, but I hope you all have a good time listening to this podcast. It was amazing to watch. I think I'm a furry.
It was boring but amazing to watch. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying to
I really did enjoy it though.
I enjoyed the concept, but I did not enjoy the execution. I guess that's all I could say.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been it. At Twitter, BirdBroPod. birdbropod.podbean if you want the invite to the Discord. It'll be there. Also, I'll be live usually on Sundays on twitch.tv /Final Falconberry, where who knows what we'll play. We just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for.
It's probably Pokemon.
Yeah, and tune in next week for some Digimon action.
Oh boy, I'm so excited to watch some Digimon.
Are you?
Oh boy.
Have you ever even watched any Digimon?
I have watched the original Digimon a few episodes, and I played the detective games.
Oh yeah, that's right. You played Cyber Sleuth.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I am Digimon fan, right?
Kind of. No, if you enjoyed the games, then yeah, you are a Digimon fan. That's what I will say.
Next week when we start the podcast, I'm just gonna be like, I love Digimon. It's way better than
Maybe.
Pokemon.
That is a fact. The anime is better than the Pokemon anime, and I will fight
That is-
anybody who says
That is
otherwise.
not a fact. I'll fight you right now. Put up your dukes.
Okay, let's go.
Put up your dukes.
I'll fly to where you live, and I'll just punch you in the
Finally,
face.
you can finally visit me. That's what it takes. I'll talk crap about Digimon all I can.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.